Peace.
Greetings, Grand Rising to all those who are here to listen to the show today. Please support the brother Justice Shabazz on his YouTube channel. It's really good to have some extra content from our own people who really are into promoting truth and peace with the freedom of speech, which a lot of that has been taken away from us. So I come in peace today, and we have some really good discussions where we're going to talk about.
Definitely. That's peace. Yeah, just your boy Justice Shabazz. Definitely, it's an honor, privilege to speak with you today, Queen, because
Well, I don't go by Queen,
needed.
I go by Empress.
Empress, okay, sorry. To be able to come into talking with you today because of all the good information that's needed for our people. And that's why I create this platform, to enlighten our people with our own information through this outlet of media, because you're going to get only what the narrative they tell you when you look at certain channels. So that's what we created this for. So I just want to ask you a few questions, and just can you give a background to the people, of your name and your background.
Well, I'm Empress Aquillah Sovereign Bay, and I am one of the chiefs of Indigenous Republic Nation, and pretty much we have separated ourselves from the United States due to the fact of learning that we could not be United States citizens, and not really fully at the time understanding who we were as the people in America. And through doing new research and lots of research, finding of who our ancestors were, a lot of times we have this notion that we came from Africa, and technically no, we did not. Not all of us. We are the real Aborigines and indigenous people to the land. Some will say Native American, and there is a difference between Native American and Native Indian. Native Indian has been federally recognized, but it's under subjugation through the federal government, and Native American has not. So when people say that in order to be Native American, you would have to be native to the land.
Indigenous to the land.
And so we are the indigenous original people according to the 1828 definition of an American, which was the copper tone people.
Like on the penny.
Yes, exactly. And they wouldn't have had the penny if we wasn't the original people. And the darker the penny gets, the older it is, you know. So,
organic.
Exactly. And also being of the Lenape Moors, or Lenape Algonquin tribe of Delaware. Today I came with some proof to show why we are these people, and a lot of people feel like, oh, you guys are just claiming different things, or they want to know about sovereignty and stuff like that. And the Creator of the Most High says that he gives sovereignty to whom he pleases, and he has given man sovereignty over the land and over the animals. So when someone claims sovereignty, they're not saying they're a sovereign citizen, because that's actually an oxymoron. You can't be a sovereign and a citizen. A citizen belongs to society, and the United States is a society, and with privileges and benefits, which we're not interested in their privileges or benefits, because we have unalienable rights. So as we are the natural heirs to the land, it is our right to have natural resources and dwell where we dwell, travel through the land. And there's a difference where people saying, oh, you sovereigns are gonna get in trouble, and obviously there's something wrong with those individuals who think there's something wrong with having their own free thought, their own common sense, their own God-like qualities that the Creator has already endowed with you and has given to you, not making you fully God, but giving you the God qualities in order so you can make proper decisions so that you can manifest things, which we have manifested many different things. And you have seen that throughout history that we are the creators of majority of things, and everything does come from us. And when you water it down, it gets lighter and lighter and lighter. And then it returns back to darkness. Also, again, not saying that we are of black, which means civilly mortus, dead. And we are not monsters. And originally that word black actually came with the indentured deed servants that came over here from Ellicott Island, which were the people who were the Slavics and the Europeans. They were called black.
Right. I'm gonna say because I know I heard about how they say about the Jewish people, the Jews. A lot of these European Jews was the Khazars, wasn't they? Like from the Khazars, yeah. So they was the watered down version.
Well, they had to pick a side, pick and choose who they're gonna be with, and it was easier to fit in as the God's jury, because He talks about His jury, and if they can create a hatred amongst everyone else, and everybody is interested in the jury of God and know that they exist, what better benefit than to be the stolen people, the people who has the real inheritance. And some people will say, "Oh, you're being anti-Semitic," and there's not possible to be anti-Semitic to your own history,
Right.
And we can prove who we are. They can't prove who they are.
Right. Okay. Well, definitely you said a mouthful in there. I believe everything to be exact. So let's get more into the background of the Moorish Science Temple and Noble Drew Ali.
Well, there's a difference of opinions for a lot of people. I actually have some proof of what Noble Drew Ali was saying. Originally, when Noble Drew Ali started the Moorish Science Temple, it was unincorporated. It was not incorporated. And the reason why he did unincorporated was because unincorporated makes it established like a government. And that separated you from the rest of the people, and you were able to have your own jurisdiction. And
almost
for him,
like Django, the movie Django, how Jamie moved around.
Yeah, with sovereignty.
He wasn't he wasn't normal.
He wasn't. And
the average.
When the European or the British guy came over, he was able to kind of like give him some insight and help him to understand his sovereignty. And he gave him law, which that's what we stand on.
That movie kind of deep, really. When you get past all the racial and the dehumanization, once you get past that, it has some.
When it comes down to overstanding the law, what Noble Drew Ali brought back the science. He was actually commissioned to go over to Egypt and to the Arab world to bring back books. That's what he was supposed to do. He was supposed to kind of infiltrate. A lot of people say, "Oh, the Moors took us down and they sold us out." Well, you know what? People sell you out all the time. You got sellouts in your family.
You got bad apples in the bunch.
Period. But when you come to the truth, that truth always stands out more than what you did in the past, and everyone has a right to change their behavior. And so one of the things that happened with Noble Drew Ali is when he went over into the tomb and they told him go into Egypt, he had to go through this like kind of ritual, go inside, and they had him in darkness and everything. He was able to find his way out, and when he did, that's when they said, "We know who you are." And they started teaching him. They started teaching him the scribes of the Quran and of the hadiths and stuff. And he was well versed because he learned it. When knowledge comes to you and you really, and someone's keeping knowledge from you, and then they say, "Hey, this is for you. This is your land is over there. Go back over there. Go get it. Listen." And they seen that he was able to read. He was reciting very fast. And people will say, "Oh, them Arabs is not the real ones." Well, listen here. We could say all of that, but at the end of the day, it's language. The true universal language that we all should be speaking.
It's like mathematics.
Exactly. And you can't decipher God's language without Him giving you understanding. So it's for men of understanding. So as he's reading the Holy Quran, the real Holy Quran, not the Circle 7 Quran, because that's another level too of information that he took from his own understanding and interpretation to put together that Circle 7 Quran. He understood that if he brought that back with him, that the people wouldn't be fully accepted, because a lot of people were indoctrinated with Christianity. And you know, Christianity is still a cousin, it's a brother of all of us, because at the end of the day, the Creator has always sent a message of warning to each one. We're looking at it wrong. We like, oh, this is about belief and this and that. No, it's a warning. It's telling you how to live life, and people are not understanding that. If we had the principles of understanding how to properly live life, we would be all right. Now, Noble Drew Ali came back with those principles because those principles was to set us apart from what they've done to us. So when the FBI basically asked him, "Where's the books at?" He said, "In here, it's in my head." You know, and that showed right there that the Muslims, or some people say the Muslims, which is the same thing. If you read the language, you will recognize it's the same exact thing.
Tomato, homicide.
Exactly. Yeah, but anyways, so with him having that knowledge, he knew that he had to slowly give it to the people. He couldn't give it right away because they would be totally against it. That's like somebody coming and telling you to get rid of your Jesus, get rid of, like, first of all, we are people that need facts and proof. And sometimes you can't just give people all the food at once, the whole spread. It may be too much for them
at one time. Exactly.
And there was a group among him that didn't approve of that, and they were very I would say jealous, you know, of his works. But he worked with some very heavy people to assist him and to guard him, to protect him, and try to preserve as much of this knowledge and stuff like that. And there's different opinions and stories on the Noble Drew Ali, and even with them calling him the prophet. I've read and I've dug very deep into some of the knowledge, and Noble Drew Ali did not call himself a prophet, but the people did. I have people who call me a prophet, and I declare all the time I'm not a prophet. Just because I deliver a message to you that the Creator tells me to say doesn't mean that I'm a prophet or a prophetess. It just means that we all have the inclination and understanding to be able to have insight to give someone something of importance. That's it. But he was called Haji. Haji is someone who goes and make pilgrimage. You know, if you don't know that, you won't understand what's happening there. So etymology is important to know in order to understand the history and the story.
That's why I don't say good morning, I swear.
Oh, no.
Words have spells.
And what we do every day, mourn. You mourn at wakes. Oh, you awake? You going to a wake? So you at a wake, which is death. And you're mourning there.
And you see how they have the battle against the woke people.
Oh yeah. It's always the woke. You know, and that's the arrogance of them not having the knowledge. Being jealous because they can't comprehend the unseen. They can't comprehend the mental of our people and the science. So what they do is they
took
push
what they knew.
Yeah,
it's like when they infiltrated, and the books they understood they took, and everything else they burned.
Well, not even just necessarily that, because we remember our people were storytellers. And the way, instead of always writing, because they burnt so many of our books, we all had to memorize them. We had to tell it to one person, and everybody repeating the same thing over and over again, so everybody knew. So when it came back in one fold, they understood. Okay, this is how it went. So when somebody infiltrated or come and try to tell the wrong thing, they correct you real quick. They didn't let you go on with the story. They stopped you. Now here in days, we have people, they don't even correct you. They're too afraid to correct. You know, but if something's wrong, let's debate it.
Positive education, correct errors.
The Moors have been here in America. They've been all over the world. We have conquered many lands. So when we come with knowledge and we come with the science and the peace for the people, It's to build the nations, but the whole part of the different conquistadors and different people taking over the Moors and all of that. When you get tired, you get a group of people who get tired and they just want to live in peace. And then you get threatened long enough because of other people doing their own thing, because they're subject or they're interested in the new wave.
Right.
Then you get a.
Now I want to cut you off. It's funny because you say, I was just watching the Tariq Nasheed documentary, American Maroon. They was talking about how they used the Moors to battle against other indigenous people and and basically chaos and confusion. It's like, well, if you do this for us, we'll get you to fight them, and to cause chaos and confusion amongst the right indigenous people. So,
and we have different allies. We always had different allies. That's one thing. Let's talk about with the United States. The United States could not form their own charter or treaty. No one would accept them ever because of their history of basically
bloodshed.
They were savages.
Like the Vikings.
They were savages. That's their culture. Their culture is to steal, kill, rape, do all the worst things you could do. We gave them civilization. We showed them how to live. We had to show them how to bathe themselves, how to build corrals around their animals and not let their animals sleep in their homes. And look, they still do it. They want their dogs and cats and everything to lick on them.
Some of them got tails coming out there.
Oh yeah, I've had a teacher say he has a tail. He thought that all people had tails. No, just your people have that. You guys, they experience difficulty. That's their disability, and that's why they hold us at a higher level of law, that they say we're supposed to know certain things because they got the law from us. So we're supposed to know better, even if we don't know that they're mixing their culture with our laws to take away unalienable rights in order for them to benefit. As I was reading different constitutions, I noticed that even within the states get ordained first by God to take away the rights using an orderly government. And where do you find orderlies at? Mental health. You find orderlies in the health system. Why do you think they're so into human resources? Because we are the resource. So they're going to capture the human resource and suppress us with their ideology to benefit. And it's in their constitution. So that's one of the things that we have to look at.
It's global, white supremacy, if you look.
Well, there's no such thing.
It's just wordplay.
White and black. It's a status code. That's what it is. And they used it to basically make it seem like it's more of them than it is of us.
I didn't say what's the word, minority and all that.
Yeah, we're not minors.
This is a lie.
But a lot of us act like minors. A lot of us allow other people to still administer our affairs as a minor and a ward, and that's why the state can come in and take your children, because you're awarded to the state. Your children are awarded to your state, and anytime you get a license, you're saying I'm incompetent because I need permission to do something that the Creator already gave me permission to do.
Indeed, we playing RG&E to live in a place that we already been here, we own. And
first of all, you got to come from being a corporation, because they charging a corporation. That's why it's in all caps. And the only other place you can find the all caps is on a tombstone. So anything that's all capital is supposed to be like a thing. It's called a rest. A rest is a thing. And so we're not things. We're the natural law people. And when we start understanding that and declaring our natural law abilities, that we have these we can manipulate, we can create, we can do things that other people can't do, then we will always be under their subjection. We will always be dead.
Break from the spell.
Yeah, it's a spell, and we have to go back to our original language, because the original language made us whole.
That's peace. We're gonna come back with a part 2. Got a lot of good information. Stay tuned, locked and loaded.
Peace.